I hate spring.
Yeah, well, I hate it because it's the prequel to summer. That's why I hate it more than anything. But
You hate summer?
I hate summer unless it's summer glow. But yes, I hate
Summer glow?
yes.
Ernie, is that summer?
Hey, can we do it? Nope. Okay, see you later. That's what it was like meeting Summer Glow. Hey, do you mind if I get a picture or autograph with you? Nope. Okay, cool. Cool story. They made her keep walking past. We were like in the hallway with her. Like
I don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
Welcome to Best Friends Podcast. I'm here with Declan and Ryan in the revolving chair. How's everyone doing? I don't care because everyone always says, no, not so good, not so good.
Oh, you're asking us, like you're asking the audience. I'm like, they can't respond to you.
They can. They go at the screen. I don't care about participation. You
They
can
can
participate
yell
all
at
you
the
want. Right
screen.
now, vote for your favorite American Idol right now if you text 1-800-AMERICA.
Who watches
those days?
American Idols?
Oh, yeah, the first year
Still
definitely
going?
watched it.
Well, yeah, it was like huge, but that's like every thing. I guess.
My
Like, The
stomach
Voice
hurts,
was
so I'm
big
drinking
season
ginger
was-
ale, by the way, so people don't think I'm just some crazy guy that drinks ginger ale for funsies.
He's like a psychopath.
Yep. This last weekend was amazing. Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestled after 19 years
Why didn't you just say
Was it WrestleMania?
WrestleMania was this weekend? It was amazing.
last weekend.
But you just said last week was amazing. That could have been for any number of reasons. You could have, I don't know, killed your.
No,
I don't
last
know.
weekend was amazing. Stone Cold wrestled after 19 years, and then Vince McMahon's 80-year-old ass
I heard he
wrestled.
almost died.
It was pretty rough to watch, but
Wow.
he has a weird body because it's got like muscle, but it's like
He's
saggy
always-
muscle.
He's like
No, but
Stretch
he-
Armstrong.
He always no, but back in the days when he took off his like shirt and had a tank top, he's pretty built for an older man. This is an 80-year-old man now, and it's like I'm like, Crystal, get over here! This guy's gonna die in the ring. She was in her room, but it was like crazy.
One of the geriatrics was loose.
Pat McAfee was fucking crazy. I couldn't believe how well he wrestled.
Wait, Pat wrestled Vince McMahon?
Yeah, he first fought Austin Theory, and then he talked shit to Vince because Vince has his golden boy now as Theory, and Vince came to the ring and fought him. Vince beat him because Mac was burnt out, but he fucking I won't take it from him. The dude can wrestle. He was when he turned 29, he quit and started training, so he knows how to do stuff. But he was doing crazy ass shit. I was like, oh fuck, he knows how to wrestle.
He's also an athlete, right?
Yeah,
So you
but
got to give him that credit.
so was the Bus, and so was LT, and so was Karl Malone.
They were different athletes.
Karl Malone, like, watch the documentary on him. That fool was prime wrestling shape. Like, they were saying he's bigger than most of the dudes, like,
basketball
muscle-wise.
player?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Karl
far
was
as-
a massive lad.
But far as wrestling goes, like, he was awkward.
Well, he's
and
not
stuff.
that nimble, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say so.
I mean,
Like-
Arnold Schwarzenegger lifted
Why
with
was,
Wilt Chamberlain.
Why was Mick Foley laughing at Stone Cold's stunner?
Because Vince McMahon don't know how to go with it anymore.
Oh,
'Cause you're doing it to-
bounce anymore.
Dude, he, like, tried to pull his head down to do the stunner, and Vince is, like, stumbling, couldn't do it. Then he fell against the rope, and then, like, Stone Cold pulled him in, did it, and, like, Vince looked horrible, and Stone Cold just kept laughing, like, afterwards, going, like, throw me the beers, throw me the beers. And they kept throwing them to him, and he's just, like, laughing his ass off, because Vince, like, fucked it all up. But it didn't matter. Vince McMahon, it didn't matter. He came back, so that's what was cool for everybody because no one thought he was going to wrestle. But I was like, he has to wrestle. They're not going to end the show with him being on the KO show and not wrestle. Just like, yep, talk shit. He stuns KO. Oh, well, thanks for WrestleMania Saturday night. And they told me he couldn't flip people off too, I guess. And it was stupid because he flipped everyone off. But he went hard. Like, I was like, okay. They went out. There was a Noble Holds bars. They went and fought in the crowd. He fell like on the cement on his back. And Kevin Owens kept talking shit before about his robotic legs and shit. So he actually went in. I don't think he sees himself ever wrestling again. But yeah, I'm surprised how hard he went in compared to just. I thought they were gonna just be a big man match where they just punch, and like a Goldberg match.
Finisher,
and
finisher.
basically.
Or
But
signature, finisher.
But it was crazy. He kept drinking beer during the whole thing. He went through, they said, probably about 22 beers. It was pretty nuts.
I don't think he drank all of those.
No, he gets a little bit in
Water.
there, but no, he gets it's his beer too, so he's advertising it. But he's like drinking it, then he tosses it, or he pours everywhere. He didn't take off his shirt, so he's in KO's boat. They're not in the best,
Is this what we're talking about today?
No, it was just about the weekend. It was it sucked. I wish I had people to watch wrestling with because
I'm curious though, because I didn't hear anything about WrestleMania.
They pump it low. They pump it up like the numbers were great. Undertaker got in the Hall of Fame this year, and it was kind of dope because when they did a Friday night WrestleMania thing, so they did a lot of cool build-ups to WrestleMania that night. So they did. It was basically a pre-show. They did the Andre Giant Battle Royal, then they did the Hall of Fame after all of it, and this time they did it in the arena. Before, you used to go into the auditorium. All the wrestlers sat on the bottom. Fans sat up on top, but this time it was just in the crowd and the wrestlers sat at the entrance. It was really weird, but Undertaker being out there was dope because he talked for a while and then he put on his hat and jacket. He took it off. They had all his clothes hanging up and he put one on. He's like, "Never say never," and I'm like, "Oh shit, you're old, but who cares?" Then night 2, Triple H came out and put his boots.
Night 2.
They do it Saturday and Sundays now. They just want to milk it much as they can. They have enough wrestlers to do it. But Triple H opened it up and left his boots in the ring and stuff, which is sad. But, because he has to be forced to retire because steroids. That's the way it is. Because when you talk about hearts, that's where it's at. But anyways, that was the weekend.
Did you see the top-ranked junior tennis player in the world slapped his opponent in the face?
No.
They lost the game, so they would go up to the middle to the net to shake hands. This guy just smacked his opponent. Not hard.
Did he say, "Keep my wife's name"?
No, he didn't. But everybody's first thought was, are these related?
Will.
It was like a two young French African tennis player.
What the fuck was that?
Chris Rock when he's laughing as Will Smith's walking up.
What's funny
Did
is
you see that single shot of the clenched fist?
Yeah,
that's just so funny.
That's an Arthur moment. It's weird. All lately, I'm clicking through the other night. Donnie was over and Bad Boys 2 was on. We're like, what the hell is this ever on? Last night I was going to bed. Men in Black was on, and I'm like, are they just people are like, dude, people are gonna watch this because all the drama going on right now. But yeah, who cares?
I watched Everybody Loves Chris.
Did you?
Episodes.
I dealt a lot with him being bullied. I don't want to even open up that whole can again, but it's crazy because now a lot more people have spoke on it, and it's just crazy.
Who cares? Ultimately, isn't it just two famous rich people slapping each other?
No, Chris Rock didn't get to slap anybody, but if he got to, I'd rather Chris went off and ripped in him and destroyed that man's life, knocked him into the multiverse. And then he cameoed in there like, "Oh, hi, Dr. Stephen Strange." And then...
Well, I mean, don't you think that Chris Rock's going to milk this for some money? And he has all rights to do so.
Yeah.
He had a...
Not sue him. I'm talking about
no, but
you don't think he's going to eventually do a stand-up about it?
Chris Rock, I mean, if he does a stand-up before this, I would have watched it. But Chris Rock's Chris Rock. So
yeah, that's you. You're applying your frame of reference to everybody else. Not everybody is in love with Chris Rock or followed his whole career, right? But everybody knows about the slap, and everybody wants to hear about because Will Smith's obviously not speaking from the heart about it, so we don't really know what the reason for that is.
He's taking time off right now. He said from acting. I'm like, no, everybody just canceled all your projects.
Yeah, but we're not going to know what he actually thought, right? But Chris Rock is a comedian. His whole job is to tell people what he thinks. Right.
What's funny is Jada threw him underneath the bus. Was like, you see that? She's like, I didn't ask him to defend me. And everyone's like, ain't women supposed to?
Dude, he can't even win when he at all.
And then and his wife did that to him.
Dude, she's the worst.
And I was like,
ever.
People got mad at me on Facebook when he posted the I'm quitting, and I was like, dude, your prom is your marriage. Just get out of it.
You messaged under Will Smith's thing? Okay. I was like,
I shared
you
the
think
post,
Will Smith's going to read that?
And people got hella mad again. They're like, he has mental illness. I can't believe you don't. I'm like, no, he's got a bad fucking wife that treats him like shit.
He's got a toxic relationship for sure.
Yeah, it's just get rid of her, get healthy in your life, you'll be fine.
All right, Ryan, what do you think about the slap? This is the part. This is the part of the show where we ask each new guest about what they thought about the slap. We're gonna milk this shit.
I mean, I was watching the Oscars and we
were
watching it as it came out, and we're like, oh,
Ryan's an actual person that watches the Oscars.
He's one of the 32 people that watches.
I
it.
watched the Grammys the other day.
Well, you like music a lot. You like all kinds of music, but
I mean,
Yeah, it was crazy. That's
what
I
is
don't-
your?
I
you
don't
just think
really
it was
have a-
fake?
You don't think you don't have some weird
were trying to
cultural
figure it-
take?
Not really.
Everybody's like giving out their weird cultural take. Like,
It's
what does
just
it
like
mean?
To me, it just seems like a big pop cultural event. It's just a slappening. I don't really have a side or.
It's weird because Crystal was watching Fresh Prince today too, and I'm just like, how far you fallen? Like, dude.
But you used to love that show.
Oh no, Fresh Prince is great. I told everybody. I think even on here, the best work he's ever had is Fresh Prince for me. That's the most I've ever been entertained. Men in Black is only.
Ever?
Yeah, Men in Black is probably one of his only movies that I really, really, really love.
You don't like iRobot?
I like Hitch.
Hitch is really good, but I think he does. Well, I mean that's kind of comedy. I'll say, but I think he's okay in action. But
Like
Men in
I
Black
Am
was
Legend?
the best action. I didn't like I Am Legend.
Do you like the Gemini Man?
I wouldn't watch that with your wiener.
What?
I don't know, but I wouldn't
What does
watch
that
it.
even mean?
'Cause
No. We gotta break down.
Usually, when you talk about like a girl, like oh she's hot, and you're like I wouldn't touch that with my dick, with your dick. I mean,
He had a Netflix
That's
yeah.
weird.
So I used it differently.
movie
Oh, we talked about that last time
with,
too.
like orcs.
Donnie
and-
was talking about it.
Bright.
Yeah.
that one was cool. I
That's-
liked
It looked like a cool idea. He said it was horrible.
Who directed? Max Landis directed that. Cult leader and sexual predator Max Landis.
Right now, a lot of people are coming out as sexual predators lately. Like Jared Leto's a lot of shit's going
Yeah,
on.
turns out when you
That's just
give
his
people
method acting,
Huh?
like he just dials it.
Did you see
Way
that?
too much.
Did you see that they said he uses crutches the whole time?
And
Like-
they had to switch him to a wheelchair because he was taking too long to get to sets.
Like, what kind of method is that though? Like
Joker's
Joker was
not in crutches for the whole movie.
Joker's a little extreme, but I guess I could kind of get because you're in a state of mind. But to be in a state of a mind of a handicap is just kind of fucked up in a way. Like some real guy on sets in a wheelchair, he lost his legs during the war, and then he sees Jared Leto going like, "Oh, get me in the wheelchair, cause someone picked me up. I gotta take a shit."
He's gonna park in the
The
handicap
handicap.
spot.
I think the funniest thing about that is
How bad the
he's-
movie did?
No, I mean he's playing Morbius. Like compared to Joker, that's not like the role of a lifetime that you're gonna go all the way out for.
Hey, when you're in 30 Seconds from Mars, you live life like that. It's just intense. You got to do whatever you got to do.
I mean,
And if you're playing Morbius, God
He's
damn
only
it,
got 30 seconds, man.
you live that life. That Morbius movie looks so bad, and everyone's been shitting on it. But people are like, "Why don't you go support it?" I'm like, "I'll watch it because I think I'll enjoy laughing at it." I think it was Eddie who's been on there before. Eddie's like, "Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna go watch it." He was like, "We might." He's like, "I'm not looking forward to it." I go, "I am." He's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Well, I think it's gonna be funny." Like, and
Apparently, it's boring as all hell.
that's gonna
Like it's
suck.
not even funny bad. It's just boring.
Just the scenes of him as Morbius. I'm just like, and people like were being assholes. Like, why do you like that? Like, don't you want to see all superhero movies succeed? No, I don't. If they're not in the MCU and they're a Marvel character, if it was Morbius in a Marvel movie, sure, because they'd probably do it right. But it's weird to have
No,
more.
I only want to pick the ones
See,
I
I'm,
like.
I'm like on the fence because
Like Morbius and Craven, I want them to deal with Spider-Man.
Yeah,
And it's like Venom you could kind of get away with, but I still didn't like the Venoms either.
Craven seems like it could be interesting.
He has to hunt.
It
He'd have to cross over with Venom or something. Like he has to hunt Venom or
But it's also Sony.
His wife or girlfriend's in it too. I forget what her name is.
I like homie Pietro. What's his name?
Yeah, the actor.
You got.
And I'm
Oh,
I can't think of his name. Why we can't think of his name? Anyways, I think he's a good actor, but like
something Aaron Johnson.
there you go, Aaron Johnson. I don't think he'd be a good Craven though. To be honest with you, there's so many guys. Everyone like Jason Momoa. I mean, he's got Craven stamped on his head. I mean,
Does he?
yeah, Drago looks
yeah, it's just
like
Craven.
yeah. Instead of damage, just say Craven.
People gonna get the wrong.
And then
message
what's going to
from that.
happen right now before we get into Moon Knight? And what's going to happen right now with Ezra? He's over here fucking...
Dude, they're gonna I heard the funniest thing. They're gonna re-edit the whole Flash movie. Ezra Miller, the Flash.
Oh, they just
dude.
They just put Flashpoint on pause. They said
they just need to multiverse him and pull in a new actor.
But if they're putting on pause, is that okay? There's no way
they're gonna re-edit to do a Batman movie.
There's no way they're gonna not release this movie. There's no fucking way. They've put too much time, too much money.
They're gonna re-edit into a Batman movie.
I don't know, and I mean, to be real with you, I don't.
They'll just get Zack Snyder to do it. Like you shot a movie once.
Someone had a tweet, and I thought it was real until I really paid attention. It was like Justice League 2 just announced in 2020 48, and I was just like, who they announced it? And I looked at the timeline, and I was like, oh.
How old would Zack Snyder be? Probably 70.
And people were saying like, Snyderverse weirdos would start looking for cryo chambers if that was like the case or whatever.
Cairo?
Cairo, was it?
Cryo.
Cairo's
the city in Egypt. Speaking of Egypt,
no, I want to know what they're gonna. I want to know what they're gonna do with fucking DC. There's no way they're like pausing it. And then
just release the rest of the shit.
Now everyone's saying that he's the whole movie.
Yeah, but the other movies, if they're gonna push this movie back,
he's the one that links them all.
Not all the movies.
And now people are. Well, he's the one that's gonna reboot everything, and he's the one.
So he'll reboot himself.
And they want Grant, whatever, the kid from CW to take over.
Oh, I never even thought of that.
They said like he should take over, and there's like petitions.
That guy's probably like fucking 37 by now. He's probably your age.
Yeah, he's like Andrew Garfield. He's like
timeless
old man, but playing a teenager forever.
Mm-hmm.
But I just
Tom Holland.
But what? Ezra Miller just got in a fight with someone in Hawaii.
He harassed some lady and got arrested. Then he got bailed. Then he stole and harassed the people that bailed him out.
He went after the people that bailed him out?
Yeah. He stole their credit cards, their passports.
Doesn't he have money? Is he just on... He should have ran.
I don't think can you post your own bail? I don't think... I guess you can.
Yeah.
It's a dumb question.
It is.
Pass me a drink.
It seems kind of weird, though.
So there was that video a few years
Pepsi.
ago.
Don't reinforce me calling my question dumb. Fuck you.
He like punched a fan in the face. Do you remember that?
No, I remember him like grabbing her head and like throwing her to the ground. I don't remember the punch.
Do you remember when Will Smith slapped that French guy for trying to kiss him on the lips?
Well, I saw it now that it...
Oh, I remember that a while ago because he's like, stop that!
That's the awkward part, is the way he slapped that French guy.
And the way he did it, like very like feminine, where he's like, stop! And then he walked away, he's like, God, try to kiss me.
Yeah, if some random person came up to me and tried to kiss me, I'd probably hit them pretty hard.
I would just probably push him away because I figured this guy's like doing it for jackass.
No, I just beat him up for his sexuality.
Yeah, that's the way we roll.
Yeah, that's how Bachelor's Entertainment does it.
Thank God Jared Leto hasn't had any rules like that where he take it to heart.
What would
you imagine if he was like in a Fight Club?
He was in a Clockwork Orange?
Yeah, or Fight Club or something, and he's just like fighting people, beating them up.
No, Clockwork Orange is way scarier.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Look at me dead under my beady eyes. Speaking of Graper, speaking of what you say, you said something that triggered me too.
You said Cairo, I said Egypt.
Yeah. Fight Club. So it was interesting that they said Moon Knight was going to be a little bit of Fight Club. And I won't lie to you. So I wasn't like, I need to watch.
Are we talking about Moon Knight right now?
I don't think you should always announce what you're talking about.
You just want to that's not how the world works. People get lost in translation.
Do you ever just stop talking and then something else starts talking about something else? You do go, wait a minute. I had to take a shit yesterday.
We're not
Let's start there.
doing that. We're on a podcast discussing a show. Like, what the fuck? We're not having a normal conversation.
But that's what people listen in for.
No, they don't.
How we're not like everyone else.
No, if it's a subject show, a topic show, people want to know what the topic is. That's why I'm always a proponent of uniform and make the podcast a little bit more organized.
You sound like Hitler.
I never know when to jump into the conversation. So I feel like I throw a bookmark in, and I'm like, okay, I gotta wait. Okay, he's still talking.
Just raise your hand next time in class.
Or just cut. Like I was really proud of Donnie in the I was gonna say Eddie Murphy one, the Will Smith one. He had a lot to say in that, and he just went off on things, and he cut us off. He's like, wait, let me finish. So I was like, damn, like he was passionate about that one. Any other ones, he didn't care. I guess when it comes to jiggy with it, he was
doesn't care about Star Wars.
he loves Star Wars, but when we talk about it, he's just like kind of mum. I'm like, what kind of race is that? He's like, oh, I don't know.
They're called a hammerhead, but I don't know what their actual name is.
And then when he's at my house, he's at my house, he's like straight up.
That was a very visceral one. I apologize.
At my house, he straight up tells me, and it like it's a D&D character. He's like, oh, that's a something. They actually came from this book and this book. I'm like,
what a nerd.
What a fucking nerd.
That's why I don't think he's afraid to like reveal how nerdy he is sometimes. You know, one of those cool guys. Like he walks in with leather jacket, hits a boombox. But I was very hesitant.
Peter
Mental.
Parker.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
Mental. The best.
You get your money when you fix this damn door. Yeah,
that's the
See
best
that
one.
video of the little kid
Dude,
doing it?
that video came out so long ago, and people were sharing it, and I go, no one realizes this is the Peter Parker dance. Then literally, I think maybe a day after, 2 days after, people all started going the Peter Parker dance, Peter Parker dance. It's so good because he does it in loop. He keeps just going back and forth, and he does the slap and starts it over again. People think you're probably snorting crack over there. You're over there like, but yes, I was hesitant because I fucking.
Wow.
Oh yeah, Cody Rhodes came back to WWE and he fought against Seth Rollins. Such a good match.
What did he come back as?
He came back as AEW character, the American Nightmare.
Not.
They're gonna merge the
Stardust.
brands, bro.
He said he made a deal. Vince McMahon. Stardust will never be back. He never wants to hear the name or anything because that was when they were trying to just give him shit and it was just garbage. So and it's funny during the match he didn't realize that he did this. It went like that, and he's like, I fucked up myself, like in an interview, but it was a fucking great fucking match. Same with AJ and Edge was a fucking great match too, but it was crazy, American Nightmare. But what sucks is he sold out, left AEW to AEW, who's a big producer there.
Is his wife still over there?
I don't think so. Talked hella shit about WWE, then he came back, which I'm glad because Dusty Rhodes ended his career there, dying during NXT days.
Dude, I can't wait for fucking.
But he did that. He was like, boom, bionic elbow on Seth Rollins, and dude, like, still like chills. Like, Crystal doesn't get it. I'm like, oh man, I'm about to cry here. Just did it for his dad, and Crystal's like, what the fuck are you watching? Like, you know. But yeah, and he did a really good promo on Monday Night Raw saying that he talked about how there was a picture. I'll say this real quick, and we can even cut off. I need to make shorter time. That he put on there, and it used to be in his room or his dad's office. It's his dad holding the belt, and it's the belt that Hogan and everyone held or whatever. And he told Dad, "So you're a champion like Hogan?" And he said, "Well, technically," and he explains to him the championship, what is it, advantage that when the person gets DQ'd or whatever, they still don't lose the belt. So that night, so Dusty never held that belt, and then he said, like, that's the day he was like, fuck, I'm gonna win that belt. I'm gonna be a wrestler. He was like 8 years old. He was like, I wanted to be a wrestler. So he was getting choked up. He's like, I always wanted to hand it to my dad and be like, no one can take this belt from you now or whatever. You got to hold it. He goes, now I can't do that. But he's like, I sure damn can try to win it now. So basically they're using a big picture scene, which is pretty cool, which I'm excited for. But anyway, so I was been hesitant with
back to Moon Knight.
Well, because I was trying to get your fucking win, then all of a sudden I did the bionic elbow. your spirits you blew at me. With the mental health thing, I don't know how well I figured I could handle it, triggering myself. Someone that's afraid of like. I'm
sorry, you just.
Are you high?
I'm very confused where you're starting from.
I'm like Michael Keane. They say Michael Keane starts in the middle of sentences, or yeah, and then you're hella lost, and then he like wraps it back around. I don't know, but anyways, no. So
the mental health part of Moon Knight was very
well. The movie or the show deals with a lot of mental health.
Yes.
So I was always hesitant to watch it. Period. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to enjoy this because I like Moon Knight a lot, but if it's gonna trigger me a lot. Especially, I have a fear of hearing voices, which is weird, like Randy Orton.
Back to wrestling.
But I was like, I don't know. And I told Crystal, I'm like, hey, I'm just going to start it and just see how I feel about it. There are little moments that kind of got me, but I do like, it's not like it's addressing it. Like, we need to get people healthy again. It's not one of those movies where you're like, oh, or TV shows are like, thank God they addressed it. It's just part of the story, you know?
Well, they're still very, like in the comic books, it's this. Well, it's been this way before, where it's very ambiguous whether he is crazy or not.
Right. And that's the thing too, is like I hate anything with mental illness called crazy.
Well, Moon Knight stories don't even show mental wellness in a very good light. There's many comics where he's stuck in an asylum and it's not helping.
Right. That's what I'm worried about watching it. Is I don't want to see.
Yeah, they don't have asylums anymore.
Well, they have mental hospitals.
They're not called asylums
because it doesn't sound right. But yeah,
asylum is another word for sanctuary. It's your asylum. You know,
it's a good word.
It comes from the root word Elysium.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of the whole time was Elysium. But so that was it's a little trippy, but I think overall they did an okay job with it. They did
a really good job. What the hell? He got his brother in to play himself. Do you know that?
For what parts?
What?
So for every line reading, in order to be able to, when he's doing the actual performance, to talk to somebody that like knows him and is like another voice in his head, they brought his brother in specifically to be like the man in the mirror, right? So like when he's talking,
'cause I want you to know I'm starting
with the man in the mirror.
That's like a lot of times when we just go back to the story.
Back to what I was saying. Oh, I'll do the Ernie though, but.
Back to action.
When he's doing that whole talking scene, obviously you would want a stand-in, right? And what a better stand-in than just like your blood relative, the person who knows you the most. So I thought that was really interesting that they brought. He looks nothing like.
I would say, does he even look like him?
No offense, he's like 50, 60, 70 pounds heavy.
Huh? I think he said years old. Huh?
Just that giant horn.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Story-wise, I think this is the first Marvel project, at least I feel, because they're starting from the ground up. Like Scarlet Witch came from here or whatever. This is just, here you go.
It's the first new character introduction through a TV show.
Besides like Kate Bishop and stuff, but she had Hawkeye to lean on.
Who?
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop?
This one I think will be hardest for non-Marvel fans to follow.
I think it's easier.
If they just watch it at just glance, but
there's not that many extra universe stuff, right?
Because it's not connected to anything, I don't think people are gonna have a hard time.
Well, I think people that are looking for the Marvel, this is a Marvel Batman, kind of attitude, because even Crystal watching, she's like, so wait, what is this? And I'm watching the same thing you're watching, Crystal. Like, I can only explain what we're watching. And again, like Adam, who's been on the show a couple months ago, or a week ago, a couple weeks ago, I don't know. He was texting me stuff, and I was like, that's kind of how the comic book is. So I kind of didn't like this, but yeah, I understand for TV wise, like Mr. Knight thing, I didn't.
Well, okay.
What you said, like you didn't care for it at first.
So,
and I felt the exact same way.
Let me make a slight point here. It's a lot like Legion, right? When Legion came out, a lot of people just watched Legion, and it was just people enjoyed it. And it's a comic book thing, and it also makes like zero sense the first like 4 episodes, but people love that kind of shit, right? People love.
Did you watch Legion?
I think I watched like the first.
You watch anything that's Marvel or DC, and then you give up usually if it's not good. To my knowledge, because I'll ask you and you're like, I watched it and then I stopped.
I mean, I'll go back and eventually finish it.
Legion seemed boring as fuck when I tried to watch it. The only thing holding me in was Aubrey Plaza.
She ended
up like not being alive the whole time or something. I don't even remember.
A figment of imagination.
That's the whole thing. That show was fucking weird, right? Raised by Wolves is a good example. That show, for the first couple episodes, you're just kind of lost. And it is very confusing, and then it starts to make more sense as it goes on.
I felt like I was playing
through the whole thing of what?
Raised by Wolves.
Did you finish it?
No.
Dude, I love Raised by Wolves.
I still.
It's an analogy of Remus, the story of Remus and Romulus. Okay,
well,
the mom is the wolf, and Campion and the Mithraic boy are Remus and Romulus, because one is destined to build a.
But we don't like Ridley Scott here. He hates superheroes.
It's not written by Ridley Scott. It's produced by Ridley Scott.
I think a lot of these things I'll end up with Crystal being at work. I don't want to get into other stuff, but
so
with her being at work, though, I think I'm going to try to watch a lot of these things more, because I have, when Logan goes to bed...
You have some free time.
I'm bored.
Not gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, and usually me and Crystal try to watch like our own things together or whatever, but yeah, so I'm going to try to watch a lot of this stuff and catch up. But
so with episode 1, it's The weirdest part of episode 1
It's weird because
is you miss all the action.
Well, what's
right?
weird is like Mark Spector is the main character of Moon Knight.
No?
If you read Moon Knight, it's Mark Spector.
Yes, that's his main personality.
Eventually, they added to my knowledge.
There's the cabbie, right? And then there's
Well-
Mr. Knight, who is like a rich guy.
Well, Mr. Knight's not even. It's from what was his name?
That was
Lockley.
more recent,
Lockley.
wasn't it?
What Knight? Mr. Knight.
Mr. Knight.
Yes.
Probably about 5-6 years ago. It feels new, but yeah.
In terms of comics, I would say it's probably pretty
yeah.
new.
But it was always Mark Spector, and then eventually I feel like it moved into Steve Grant. But the story was him being the mercenary. He went to the temple or the pyramid. They were there to rob something, and when he's about to die or whatever, like
That's how the-
Bushman is in it, and I believe it's the same Bushman from Luke Cage, to my knowledge.
I think it's Bushmaster.
I don't know, but to my knowledge,
It's a guy he carves the face off of.
You talking about Blade?
Blade.
Yeah. Yes. No, that's Cottonmouth.
Oh,
No.
Bushmaster was the other guy.
That dude was super like.
The worst part of the series because he just shows up. No, Bushman was season 2?
Yeah.
was that the brother?
I don't even remember. He's just some
No.
weird mystic
The brother was Diamondback.
Yeah, and that was the worst one because he shows up at the end of
that
the,
was so
the last.
comic book. I loved it.
I loved that season, but I still like him being like, next time, Luke Cage. Like, it was just weird. I got a special bullet for you. And it was just weird in
They
his
were
suit.
going very. What's that word they use for black films?
Blaxploitation.
Yeah, like very Jackie Brown. Like,
Have you seen Black Dynamite?
yeah. Remember, I borrowed.
Black Brandon's, we never gave it back. Rest in peace. And now it's all chewed up because one of our dogs chewed it. Best scene in the movie is when he jumps in the room and then like a boomerang hits the guy. He's like, I threw that shit before I came in the room. But yeah, they do a lot of blaxploitation in there. Yeah, but in that comic, he's gonna die or something. Then he swears to Khonshu.
That's what they say in the series, though.
He swears that. Well, I know that, but I'm saying, but it's Mark Spector that does that, of course, and I think they're doing that here. That he swears, his allegiance to him, and of course, he never looked like the bird bone thing. He looked like Moon Knight with the pharaoh head on, and he takes the cape off him, which is really weird that a statue would have a cape in the comic. But we're just writing comics now.
Wait, is it a stone cape that mystically gets transformed, or is it like somebody?
They don't. I don't think they explain
woven.
it. He just grabs it and it's just like,
I'm the Moon Knight.
and but then I don't know where he gets all his stuff from, like all his gadgets and stuff. Because I guess
He
It was
makes
part
him
of his suit.
no,
in the
in the
comics.
comic, I'm saying,
he makes him. I would imagine
because that's when everyone got like, oh, he's like Batman, and
he's way more mystical in this series than he really ever is in the comics, too.
he that's why I was excited when I read there's going to be super more ties to the Egyptian origin. So it gives them a lot of room to make the character so different, and that's why I think you were mad about the costume, and I was like, I like the idea. He almost looks like a pharaoh and almost looks like a mummy because it deals with Egyptian. I'm like, it's really connecting to that, and I don't want to see him in just white cloth, white pants, and tights. It'll
With
look
a white
weird.
hood.
It'll look weird. His hood looks
and a
dope
burning
now.
cross. Yeah, I was making a KKK joke, Ernie. Fuck.
I can't see through my holes. Best scene in
My wife stayed up all night cutting
best scene in Django.
37 masks for you
Django.
people. You ungrateful. I'm going home.
You guys can all I forgot what he's. It was a great scene. But yeah, it's trippy though, because when you're watching in the beginning, you're just like, what the fuck?
Dude, he is the most Stephen Grant is the most pathetic human being on the face of the earth.
No, he's fucked up.
I know, but,
Another
like-
dude's living his life for him. Wouldn't you be fucked up too?
What?
Did
Another
you-
dude is
I'm-
living his life for him?
Yeah.
I'm still confused because I don't know.
Mark
whether-
Spector's not going into work for him.
Yeah, but he's tired. He's lazy. He's missing out on dates and shit. He's a vegan.
But which one is the person who originally had the body?
That I don't know, but Mark Spector's the one that's what I was telling Crystal originally. Mark Spector was the guy that became the Moon Knight. And I felt like Steve Grant came way later. I feel
Steve? It's Steven.
I honestly
What do you
love the way Mr. Knight came about. 'Cause she's like, think of a suit, or put on the suit, and he thinks of a literal suit, and
See, that's
my favorite is the
it was
superhero landing from that scene, because as he's falling, he hits his head on the pole, and then superhero lands, and then he just still falls over.
It's pretty funny, but then it kind of takes away how badass like his intro is. As do they call him Mr. Knight in that?
I don't think so.
I don't think they.
That
do.
is in my opinion, one if not the best comic book costume of all
when
time.
When he walks in, he's rolling up his sleeves. He's about to
got the gloves on.
He's about to beat the shit out of guy in the issue. He's just so
that's
badass.
on the poster too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
So I don't think this is the last time we're going to see Mr. Knight.
No, I think it's when they go back and forth.
I think he's going to do some mental training while he's trapped in
But I think
inside of Mark.
What sucks is I don't think we'll ever see them combine as one or whatever. I think they're always will have to, no matter how long the series goes or what other series.
Yeah, but you don't think Mark's going to be like, I need to know this Egyptian shit. Let me just quickly go ask Steven, or let Steven take over, right?
And are they going to do Jake Lockley, the cab driver? Like, I think that'd be a little too much. It's really weird though too that I'm like, oh, that's cool. They kept his accent for it, and then he's doing the English accent.
Mm-hmm. That's not his accent.
Our accent.
That's not actually what he sounds like.
I thought that is his voice.
No. He's turning it way up, bruv. Isn't it? He's like calling people bruv all the time.
He's
bro.
not British.
He's not.
No.
It's so crazy to think about where he start Apocalypse, dude. Like you were fucking Apocalypse, and your career survived. Like. Count your lucky stars.
He's in Star Wars too,
but he was not liked as Poe.
Actor.
I mean, he's a pretty big actor, but he's got some roles that could have ruined him and never.
Wait, who's Jason Isaacs?
That is, I know exactly who he is. I see his face right now, but can't think.
Oscar Isaac was really Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Someone in an interview asked him about it, and he's like, yeah, I don't ever want to go there again.
What a weird casting choice.
What do you think is up with, how is that going to call him Stephen Hawkins?
Well, first, I found a really interesting detail, and this is while we're still talking about the mental stuff, that Stephen Grant, if that's the second personality, right, if he's Mark Spector with a Stephen Grant sub-personality, right, apparently Stephen Grant is just a copy of his wife, right? Like, they like the same poetry, like... It's kind of weird that he just adapted all those personality traits from her.
But
that can't be a coincidence. That has to be something he's created.
Could it be that he just likes the same thing she liked or something? Or
Mark Spector doesn't, though. There's a point made of this. But if Stephen Grant, who's a whole different personality, does, could he just be essentially a mirror copy of what his wife liked? Like because that's like it's sort of like the thing / not like with Legion, right? Legion has multiple personalities because his mutant power he can just suck up fucking either, what is it, like consciousnesses, basically?
Real quick,
existences, powers, anything.
Episode 2's end song was kind of hidden for me, like slamming.
It was like
the very Egyptian.
Yeah,
I was like,
oh yeah.
But I don't know. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I just thought maybe it was stuff that she may have like done around one or the other, but it couldn't be Steve because Steve would remember.
That's what I'm saying. Is Mark knew all that stuff,
and then
so when
Steve took a liking to it.
No, when the Steven personality came to existence, it was built off the building blocks of someone else's personality.
Is that why she's the next Avatar?
I don't know what that bugs me. Like, why is
I think Conch was bullshitting and just doing it to coax Mark into staying as the.
And is Khonshu a bad guy?
Isn't he a bad guy in the comics? He's not a very nice. He's in the comics I've read. He's not a very nice, benevolent.
I'm pretty sure he's
guy.
from the original Mummy. It gave me a lot of Mummy vibes.
Oh yeah, the movie is
the voice actor.
He's the brother, Stephen, and then his wife is, what's her name from Black Widow? She has the curly hair, and she's like strong, and she like does stuff herself.
That's the wife, and who's the brother?
Steven acts like the brother from the Mummy.
And Brandon Fraser is Mark Spector?
I guess so.
That's where you're going right now?
Mm-hmm.
And Emotep is who I'm trying to figure out to you guys. What's
We
his?
haven't seen him yet.
Who's the fucking guy that steps on glass?
Oh my god, Jonathan.
Nope. I was going to say Stephen Hawkins.
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
I was talking about the character. I thought you knew it was Ethan Hawke.
No. That's why I was saying Stephen Hawkins.
No, I don't know who Ethan Hawke. He's never been in anything. Ethan Hawke's a no-name actor.
Yeah. Who is he?
He wrote a book about being a knight.
And he was previously the last Avatar too. Khonshu said that he was.
It's
No,
weird.
he said that. He said,
Oh,
and
so
that's
he could
why
be
he knew
lying.
what. No, but that's why he knew what she was saying. Because maybe he's talking to Steven and he's like, "What is he telling you now? Is he telling you to kill me?" And it just cuts to Khonshu being like, "Kill him," and then it's like,
Khonshu's fucking scary looking.
dude, I love it. It's awesome.
He's
It looks
huge.
it looks really good too. And there's good scenes where he's like close to Mark, where it's like, wow, that looks really good.
I can't believe how much they.
I'm
the voice
into
actor.
it.
I can't remember what his name is,
super
but he's
interested
fucking.
in-
He's from the Mummy. That's what I was saying. I believe he's from the Mummy.
Who?
The voice actor of Khonshu.
Khonshu.
Maybe.
What were you saying?
I like that they're pulling in all the gods.
Yeah.
And I
Let's get
don't
some
know if it's
Horus.
gonna tie to Thor
People think it is.
because Khonshu is the brother of Boss.
Boss
Who's-
Nask?
No, Boss. The
Bast?
yeah.
The cat god?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Who is? That's where the Black Panthers get their powers from.
Mhm. Oh yeah, let me tell you
And-
something. Egyptian lore is fucking crazy, dude.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Shit's
Bast was casted into Love and Thunder, so
interesting.
she's probably gonna die.
If they did a movie with a bunch of the gods and stuff, it'd be interesting.
They have that
Like Avengers BC.
Zeus is gonna show up,
Eternals,
Were they all the gods in Eternals?
basically.
basically.
Gilgamesh, Icarus. I mean, they're more like story
I'm
characters.
talking about more so
Athena.
ones that connect to our favorite characters, not
Athena.
ones that we don't
Well,
care.
in the MCU, they're. I mean, as far as we know,
Like Athena
there's
has no ties to
F. Murray Abraham.
Captain Marvel or anything like that, or I'd rather see stuff like that where all the characters that have been built up, they all have to team up again. Another Avengers, not Avengers movie where they have to fight off all the gods or whatever. But
I mean, I hope they exist because I want Hercules
Zeus exists.
somewhere.
He's gonna be in that Guardians Christmas special.
did you notice that
He's
Really?
played by Russell Crowe,
yeah. Did you know that
the greatest actor in the world.
this is the longest record of not having a trailer?
Because it's gonna be tied to Doctor Strange.
You think so? How?
What do you mean how?
Like, what do you think that they can't show
God.
that'll be
They
shown?
put the Doctor Strange trailer at the end of Spider-Man.
That's the end credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
No, but why do you think that they're not?
Oh,
What could the Thor movie be spoiled with that? Think.
something multiverse. Because now they're saying that there's gonna be different versions of Thor showing up, like in the comic.
Dude,
but-
as I love Loki to death, but the variant bullshit's getting on my nerves because everyone's now there could be a variant of this person, there could be a variant of that person,
no, it's
variant
not
of this.
variants that they're talking about. In the God Butcher story, it's past, present, and future Thor that have to
It's like I'm hearing
It's-
screaming.
It's the beginning of Kids by MGMT. There's a child outside. That album is great.
What were you saying before I get interrupted with kids?
It's the past, present, and future Thor that have to beat.
I'm still not sold
Or-
on his outfit. I mean, it's been leaked everywhere. It just looks too much.
We're talking
The
about
blue one.
Yeah. I just keep thinking, like, back to Moon Knight, like, how will I ever get to see him lined up with, like, a team or something?
he might not be. This is like the only contract.
I think
Oscar
Midnight
Isaac
No,
is
I think
Suns.
they're trying to move to Midnight Suns, I've heard.
Yes, but he's not obligated to make anything more.
Oh, trust
As in
me.
his-
After he gets all the hype and the love, he's going to be like, yeah, I'm down.
I think.
Not everybody's as conceited as you are.
No, but I know Oscar.
I think
pretty well.
because
The Grouch?
Yeah. I live on Sesame Street,
Mhm.
so.
What I'm thinking is gonna happen is we will get Midnight Suns.
Well, they're doing a Werewolf by Night movie
Mm-hmm.
for Disney Plus. It's not going to be a show.
Oh yeah, did you hear about the QR code thing?
Yeah, that's really weird. And all the codes,
So cool.
but all the codes are just the first appearance of Moon Knight.
No, one of them is
Werewolf
Werewolf
by
by Night.
Yeah, they're all Werewolf by Night. I'm sorry, they're all the first appearance of Moon Knight. Every
Yes.
one so far.
But that
That's
could,
just a cool Easter egg.
I thought they would just do more, but yeah.
they could have just made it nothing or a picture of a butt.
Or they
But-
get a license plate that shows like, oh, that was first appearance of so and so, like they do with Spider-Man all the time.
I think they will keep Midnight Suns to Disney Plus since they added the new parental changes.
Right, who's your Midnight Sun roster?
Did you see how much they changed? They got rid of the blood in the scene with the cap shield, and then they
barely changed it.
And then they got rid of
they didn't get rid
in memorial of Stan Lee after something, and then after Luke Cage, memorial of the other guy. Then they returned everything, I heard, and they said it was a glitch.
Do you know why?
How did a glitch happen?
Do you know
stuff?
Why?
Why?
Because they're creating new parental guidance structures that have edits of things so you can show them to your kids. So you
can't have the memorial of or whatever.
Do you really want to bring up death or, that's the thing. Is it's not for you. You can watch the original versions. It's a glitch because they literally uploaded the wrong version.
Well, anyways, regardless, they said they're all back to normal now, and
they're gonna stay that way.
But
there's just gonna be two different versions.
But my thing is, it's just weird that
it's conspiracy. They're trying to erase Stan Lee's legacy.
No, I mean he didn't create all of it.
I get tired of that, to be honest with you, with the whole Stan Lee
Jack Kirby did something.
Well, people also think that, Grandma and Grandpa that go into theaters are like, Stan Lee, the owner of Marvel. That's how they look at him. They don't realize that he was just an editor there, basically. He did create a lot of characters.
It's kind of hard to look at him now.
But Jack Kirby, did a lot. And Steve Ditko did, a lot, far as, art-wise. He drew Spider-Man, Doctor Strange as well, and all that shit. But,
yeah, give me your Midnight Sun roster.
So, starting with the villain.
No, there's somebody outside the door. Can you turn it down?
Who'd be outside the door? Any
number of fucking people. Anybody here for fucking HeroClix? Your mom, your dad, your priest, your rabbi. If you're doing drugs, stop it. Get some out.
I think the villain would end up being Mephisto.
I hope they never give us Mephisto and they just keep hinting at it.
Only because you can't have Mephisto in a movie with China because of the devil.
But you could have Nightmare.
Yeah, they could do Nightmare.
It is weird how much Scarlett keeps saying Nightmare in trailers, and I'm like,
oh my god, guys, it's Nightmare.
I'm surprised people aren't feeding in like a motherfucker. Told you.
I mean, that was Scott Derrickson's original plan before he left the movie. But
or was he ousted?
No, he left amicably.
I have no fucking clue.
But yeah, I think people like to throw Punisher in there. I don't ever see Punisher as a Midnight Sun.
He's in the newest version.
He was in the Marvel Knights, I thought, not the Midnight Suns.
The Damnation story.
I remember buying you copies of that, then realizing you already had it. And I was like, oh, whatever. Yeah, you did. So whatever. I swear I found
collecting
it. It would look like a good story.
I mean, that roster had Punisher, Elsa, Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider.
That's weird.
Iron Fist, Doctor Strange.
That's an odd-ass team for filming, Midnight Suns, I think of horror-like characters.
Blade.
Well, look at the game. The game has Captain Marvel. Wolverine, I think, is okay. He kind of fits in everywhere.
I was about to say, isn't he kind of just been on every team possible?
I'd rather
he's been a fucking Fantastic Four member and Avenger.
America.
I'd rather be
Wait, he's been Captain America?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he Canadian?
Oh no, I meant Captain America. On Midnight Suns.
Is he Canadian? Blasphemy.
I was like, this.
I just like the
dude.
original.
By the way, I'd be so pissed if they made a I don't care what race, but if you make a non-American Captain America, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
What about an African American?
I said I don't care about the race.
You said non-American, but I guess.
But African Americans are American. That's racist. If anything, you said something racist. But assuming African Americans aren't American.
I like the original. They did at the time. There was 2 Ghost Riders, but it was Blade, Johnny Blaze that had the shotgun that shot Hellfire,
Blade,
Catch, Blade, Morbius.
See now Morbius.
Yeah, see they could have done him.
Yeah,
good.
but whose favorite fucking comic book character is Michael Morbius?
There was a few runs that I enjoyed.
Is he your favorite?
He's a vampire that's got kind of like Blade-ish, but Blade's more badass because he actually
he's
can
British.
fight.
like him as a side
Well,
character.
Ryan has a big ass fucking idea what he thinks is going to happen with Blade, and because that comic coming out with all the Brits
you're
and stuff.
talking about M13.
Yeah, because M13 is that British team, and Blade's on it, and Black Knight's on it, and he's like, it's kind of weird that
Captain Britain's gonna come, and then Psylocke will be there, and
Betsy Braddock, not Psylocke.
aren't they the same person?
no Psylocke that took over this Asian girl's body.
Yeah, isn't?
Quanon is not.
Yeah, but is it at one point Braddock in her body?
Oh yeah,
So
but they're separate people now, and it was a bad thing.
yes, I would assume that taking over somebody's body non-willingly is a good.
A
or
white person in an Asian person's body.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
The other way around's fine though.
Yeah,
No.
sure. But yeah, so I don't know, and they were talking to, why am I forgetting his name again? The villain,
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke on Fallon, and he's like, looking at his rumor cards, he's like, there's a chance that Bruce Banner is going to be in this, I hear, and he's like, no, he's like, I know Mark Ruffalo, he would already spilled the beans to me and this and that. He's like, there's a rumor that Blade comes in there, and he's like, his poker face gets so bad, and then he's like, no, they go, Blade, what, Blade doesn't text you either? And he's like, no, he's just like, he's not. And then he looks over to the side and goes, like, wiggles his eyebrows. And then they're like, also there's a rumor that you're going to end up being Dracula. And he's like, how cool that sounds. He's like, I would love that to happen. I won't lie to you.
I think that would be weird.
And then they're like, but he's like, but you're not saying you're not. And he's like, fine, whatever. Screw the lawyers. He's like, I'm Dracula. And everyone started cheering and stuff. So that makes me think he's not. But I'm thinking,
Yeah, he's not Dracula.
I know Blade.
How do you get from where he is now to Dracula? If Dracula's, hear me out. If Dracula's
we have a few episodes to.
But if Dracula's the motherfucking Lord of Vampires here, right? Who's been around for forever, right? And how is he aligned himself with Amit and Khonshu? Why would he even need
That
their
is kinda
power?
weird.
Why would he? He's fucking Dracula, bro. And
Why
you
would-
wouldn't just make Dracula appear in the 21st century. Then who gives a shit?
Maybe-
Everybody would just be like, Dracula. Who the?
And he
did
has
you just?
walked in the sun already.
But maybe it's a depowered Dracula.
Oh, but he could be a daywalker.
Daywalker.
Is he Fighter the Night Walker?
I've been watching Angel.
Why?
Huh? Because I've been watching.
People like
Buffy.
Angel.
Joss Whedon is
And-
behind that. We abandoned him a long time ago.
Did we?
Joss Whedon hates women. Oh wait, no, he likes women too much without their consent.
Joss Whedon ruined Warner Brothers movies.
What?
They said he ruined JLA all the time.
Yeah.
He did though.
I
I'm
thought
even
Warner
though Zack-
Brothers ruined it themselves.
Even though Zack Snyder's version is 4 hours of boringness, it's still a better movie than the original.
You know what
Yeah, I
happens
guess.
to toads when they get struck by lightning.
Same thing that happens to everything else.
That's going to be on a pop quiz one of these days, and you guys will pass.
Does Wolverine get punched in the dick? In that, does Mystique punch
I
him
think
in the
Mystique
dick?
does, yeah.
If you kicked him in the dick, you would eventually hit out a
When
adamantium, right?
when Wolverine cuts off Mystique's blades, he's like, "Ah!" And it's like Hugh Jackman playing a woman going like, "Ah."
He is.
But yeah, the first episode, I was gonna say it lacked kind of stuff, but I know
It
that
lacked a little bit of.
I wish the 2 episodes were together.
yes, because that's how I watched it, and it worked.
The second
for me.
episode was actually quite long, though, too.
it was them together was like it worked.
But we got spoiled
just
with
worked.
WandaVision, and we got 2 episodes. But that was also.
But it was 'cause
We're
There's-
supposed to get 2 episodes of Obi-Wan, too.
There's quite a bit of setup in this though. But you have to remember, WandaVision was what, like 12 episodes long.
Mm-hmm.
This is only gonna be 6.
But they were.
WandaVision was not 12 episodes long. It's like 8 episodes, 9 episodes.
WandaVision was also weird because some episodes were 30 minutes, some were 45, some were an hour. Like they couldn't.
Is this one going to end with just people throwing lightning bolts at each other?
Moon Knight. I think it's
That's
all
how most
it's-
Marvel
it's-
fights
it's all,
end up for a
well,
lot
first
of
of
it.
all, there's got to be.
It's in the magic-y space. Right?
First of all, I think his girl's gonna die. Second, I don't know if they're gonna come to terms. I feel like they're gonna split bodies at one point, like a very Hulk-like moment where they're like separating. But I don't know. because I don't know how much.
Tearing me apart, Steve.
I don't know how much they can do this whole arguing in the mirrors and stuff for people to be entertained. Like
I'm entertained.
It's
Puddles of
fine.
water.
It's
some of the
it's
best
fine.
parts.
It's fine now. Yeah, it's really good.
He
but
literally, when Steven tells him, I could feel that moment when Steven's like, I'm going to make every waking moment you have a nightmare. When he's like, you trapped me in this horrible thing again. This horrible
wonder what it
experience.
feels like or where they're at. Are you just like in some
I think
weird,
I think we're gonna explore it
He's
eventually.
like, I don't like this.
It's hard to move. I feel like I'm suffocating.
it's really out there. Like, again, for my wife not knowing anything about Moon Knight.
Can you be abusive to your own personality?
Well, it's very Fight Club. That's what people were saying. And then
I don't
when
think
people
it's as manipulative as Fight Club.
when they show clips of like him fighting with them and stuff rolling down the stairs, it's pretty funny. Then we see him running from the jackal. It's pretty funny because he's like, oh shit, and there's like
Jackal's
nothing
just invisible though. It's real.
Yeah, but when they're watching on video though, he's like, wait for you're about to see some like the craziest like shit you've ever seen or something like that.
running
And he's like, you're just running around.
Dude, you busted the loose.
That part
Dude,
confused me because he walks out of the bathroom and his suit's not on anymore.
He walks way out of the bathroom though. He's like past the bathroom. And it's Mark Spector looking at it going like, I know you were going to look at the video, motherfucker. Like,
Okay.
their dynamic is pretty fucking cool. That's the crazy thing. And hats off to Oscar Isaac.
Azerbaijan.
It feels like they're two way different characters.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
One's a beta
acting.
male cuck. The other one's a Chad.
He's a good guy, man. He had the flowers for the date. And do you think he's talking to his mom?
No, that's the saddest part. 'Cause
I
think it's a voicemail.
Everyone, yeah, he keeps. I think his mom's dead, and he keeps calling the voicemail, and that's what.
No, because she asks him, "Oh, you're talking to your mom again?" He's like, "Yeah." So he's.
But
he
every
was-
time
he
I think he's
was
leaving
talking to somebody.
But
right?
if he's not the real person or the original body owner,
maybe
is he just
Mark
talking
doesn't
to a
talk to his.
random person?
Maybe Mark doesn't talk to his mom because Mark is the dominant personality, whereas Steven is the sub personality, which means he's more inclined to be attached to some figure like his mom, whereas Mark
He's
could have
attached
seen
to
her
his
as
fucking
abusive.
fish.
No, his fish dies.
Does he kill or does somehow the one armed one die?
Yeah.
Because he brings in the other one.
Mark
And
replaced
Black
it.
it's fucked up. Don't believe in the Nemo.
Mark grabbed the fish and threw it.
Ate
Yelled
it.
at it like it was Khonshu. You think you could be his avatar?
But then it's weird because Mark is like, I'll be gone after I do what
Do you think
Khonshu
you could
needs
crush
me.
a live goldfish in your bare hand? Not like physically wise, but like emotionally.
No, fuck no.
You couldn't?
No.
You too worried about all the blood and the bones?
No, it's an animal. I'd rather all my...
You eat animals.
I know. I'd rather them all be butchered off to the right. Not me knowing about it. I'll eat it gloriously. I'll eat a goldfish probably. Because they're so delicious. Love them fishes. I could eat
Stack
them
that
every
smiles
day.
back. Goldfish.
Yeah, my mom says that's okay.
What are you talking about?
You know that jingle. It's the goldfish jingle.
All I knew is the snack that smile back.
The only thing I could think of was Red Robin.
Yum. But no, I it's just weird, the contrast, and it's getting very mystery solving. But now I think we're getting more revealed with Grant finding out all this and that. So it's really cool because I was like, oh, he's discovering this, and then the whole sand around the bed was interesting, blocking his leg because he just thinks he has a sleeping disorder where he's waking up, but then he's waking up places with
How
a
to
jaw
Stay
fucking
Awake.
unhinged.
Volume
that part
1.
Look,
With his jaw's like, man.
remind me of Nebula popping her face.
Yeah, she's like part robot. I don't know how I was gonna say Steve Crow. I don't know how Grant does it, where it's like
He's
I'm okay.
Powered by a literal god.
Yeah, but I just don't know where this is gonna go. It's interesting. I'm ready for the ride. I'm ready for it. I'm good for the ride.
I don't think you're ready for this.
Are
Jelly.
they in Latveria in episode 1?
No,
The castle?
no, where he steals the scarab thing.
That's Sweden.
No.
Yeah, it's the that's the French Alps.
And with this show, with everything changing so fast, you really have to listen to it, because like they're after him, and then he's like, oh, they're after me. I don't get it. But then you hear them talk to fucking, I don't know, Dracula, and he's like,
Ow.
and he's like, and he's
That's
like,
what he does when he's got the. Just take it from me.
I'm gonna say it one more
Oh.
time, and he's like. They go, he killed 2 guards already, and we're looking for him right now. And it's like, we have no clue of that because we didn't get to see what the other part of him was
you
doing.
can assume once you see a guy look up and he's clearly falling out of a window and there's a guy with a gun. Doesn't he wave at the guy and the guy waves back?
he waves at him for a second. He's like, "Hello, mate," and he says something.
Oi, bruv.
He says something when
Isn't
he hits him. He's like something. I forgot what word it is, and people were explaining that it's kind of a like slang word for like awesome for. I don't know if it's Brits or what. But yeah, it's when he's fighting the thing and he does like a good job where he's like, come on, little okidoki. I'm a Steven with a V. You know, all that jazz.
Did you know allow it is a negative term?
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Really? I feel it's
He
way
was doing an
context?
interview and someone asked him, allow it? He's like, yeah. And I don't know. I guess it means like, no, I don't want to do that, or I don't want that to happen.
I'm watching Tack the Block over then tonight.
He's gonna redefine the whole movie.
Because whenever they say allow it, I feel like it's when they ask like for something to be done, they're
Better
like allow
believe.
it. God, I love that fucking movie.
Yeah, we know.
Watch Attack the Block, everybody. Watch it.
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright produced it. He wrote. I believe he wrote it though too. All right.
It means to leave it alone.
Wow, I did not know that. I've been using it wrong all this whole time.
You've been using it.
When I pick up Brit women's and they're like allow it, I'm like
Brit women's.
yeah, I'm like cool. We're getting it on.
And you're like, leave it alone.
Yeah, so I'm doing the opposite, I guess. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this is going. I know we have people outside waiting, but it's just like I said. It's
Can he
one.
beat T'Challa, by the way?
Can he beat T'Challa?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Wait, what?
T'Challa, dude, he absorbs people's like hits and shit. I was talking about that. We're watching Findy.
No, I'm talking about the
thank you.
actor from Attack the Block.
Oh, can he beat T'Challa?
John
Can he-
Boyega?
Yeah, can't he beat T'Challa?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I love John.
No,
Boyega.
no,
I thought
no,
you-
yeah.
I thought you said, could Black Panther beat Moon
yeah,
Knight?
No,
And I was like,
Yeah.
Black Panther, I don't think can because he takes that energy. They made him pretty broken in the movies.
Yeah, but Moon Knight is powered by a literal god.
so is
So
Black Panther.
Yeah, but
it's
the
the sister.
Bird god
of-
better than cat god.
And also, they're gonna release the true origin of Thor coming out in the comics. Did you see that? And it's Phoenix is the logo, but Phoenix supposedly hooks up with the old Odin in the BC story. So
DC.
BC.
I know. It's. I mean, the
Stands for before Christ. You pagan.
people are really upset about it.
they are. Well, because I don't think people like anyone's origins
Well,
changing.
people hate
Cringe.
Jason Aaron's Avengers run.
They didn't like Jason Aaron's Avengers run?
Why?
It's not good.
What about it?
Do you know if
Is it butcher them
do you
characterization?
know if the Moon Knight against the Avengers story came out in trade?
Oh, red, black, and white.
I think so. It's when he fucking grabs Mjolnir and shit.
Mjolnir.
Mew Mew.
Well, he. Oh, you're talking. That's part of.
Jason Aaron's?
No, that's part of Damnation.
No.
When when Mr. Knight picks up.
Not
Mjolnir?
Mr. Knight. It's when Moon Knight takes on all the Avengers, and you find out that Mjolnir is connected to the Moon story origin or whatever.
Is Conchu the guy?
And then he uses the Phoenix. He brings the Phoenix Moon Knight to beat the shit out of them or some shit. It's a really good fucking, like, I read a few issues and I want the whole story. I don't know. I'll look it up after this. Any last thoughts on the two Moon Knight? Because I know it's kind of...
Any last words before I kill you,
Because
Bo?
I know Moon Knight, there's not really much to talk about in these two episodes because pretty much sums up. They want the little fucking
I want to see
scarab
him
thing.
beat up people more. That's
Yeah,
the
it's weird.
last
The whole
thing I want.
punching thing that we all got off on the trailer, it was just a jackal.
Jackal.
I thought about that the whole
That's the
fucking time.
only That's the problem. Is that's ruined the word jackal.
I know. A lot of things do though. A lot of things ruin other things. But
I can't go and slap people anymore without people accusing me I'm like Will Smith.
I know it's fucked up.
I want to see Ethan Hawke's character do something other than summon jackals. Which
He's
aren't,
got to be something else.
like, so he has like a
Why does he
crocodile god.
He has to be.
Why?
Marvel's
You
bigger
can't
than
just-
this.
but you
Marvel's
can't-
bigger than
But
this.
you can't just say that. You get that,
I
right?
can.
No, you
Marvel's
can't.
all about the slow burn, right, Ryan? Don't you think it's going to be something's going to be revealed?
Yeah,
That's how I
towards
think the bubble's
end.
gonna burst. By the way,
No, it happens all the time.
Blade and Black Knight will show up at the end.
We have
Another fucking British. I was gonna say
twat.
twat.
I think you could say that.
The King of the North.
The King of the North.
Like, we're putting a team together.
Bastard.
We're putting a team together.
You son of a bitch.
Jared Leto
mean-
comes
I mean-
running in.
Who?
Jared Leto.
Wait for me!
He just comes I just imagine
I'm in a
just
wheelchair. I'm still in character. God, that's gotta suck for real people that have to use a wheelchair. Fucking Jared Leto, man.
using a wheelchair. Yeah, it does suck. People can't use their
Yeah,
legs.
but then they see Jared Leto just like, I'm pretending
No.
because I'm so into
No,
it.
fuck those guys. Those cowards can't use their legs. The fuck? Just get up. Stand up for yourself. Oh, wait.
You can't because you got hit by a mine while you're fighting for our country,
You could
bro.
have just been born without the use of your legs, too.
Huh?
You can just be born without the use of your legs.
That's
too.
true as well. That
Way to
is
be
true.
ignorant, Ernie.
But anyways, I actually was very impressed with everything. I think I'm more impressed than anything with, of course, the acting, but the visuals. Like, holy shit!
Dude, that scene where he's running across the bridge in the moonlight. And it's,
Oh my god, the whole thing where he's like, come on, like he's trying to set up how he's gonna land and stake him.
I really want him just like to RKO him
Oh,
over the thing. Just
dude.
catch him and.
Speaking of which, watch WrestleMania. There's 2 good RKOs, but yeah,
What? What?
But
You can't tell me that. That ruins the whole point of
they'll
them.
come out of nowhere. You won't even know.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the visuals, man. I'm blown away how
It's crazy, man.
for them to put that much into it's fucking Moon Knight, dude. Back in the 90s, I would never think Moon Knight would even get looked at.
Back
And the
in
fact,
the 90s, I
but
was
and
in
now
a
we see him,
very
and the
famous
visuals are just
TV
fucking
show.
beautiful in this. Him even as Mr. Knight, just like the glowing and all that. Oh man, rolling up the sleeves. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah. The glowing eyes are great. Those are great details.
Now we're getting Genie Cap or Miss Marvel.
who?
Miss Marvel.
Yeah, Moon Knight should come out of nowhere and just beat her up.
Oh, people are hella pissed that it's rated PG.
She's gonna get the bracelets, bro. She's got the
They're-
Quasar's bracelets, bro.
They're like,
It's kind of cool though.
but the whole thing is Quasar doesn't have Quasar bracelets. They're all Nega bracelets.
What?
Other people have the
Whoa.
Nega bracelets from the negative zone.
Oh.
It's cool though.
I like it. It's fine. I don't want to see her walk around stretching like a fucking weirdo. Like, leave that to Mr. Fantastic. That's his thing. Like, the stretching of her, I've never cared for. It's weird. Like, oh yeah, big ass fist, like Green Lantern shit without being Green Lantern. So you're just like a freaking mutants.
You freak. She's
Well, now
an
she is
inhuman.
Green
Easy,
Lantern.
Richard, easy. Huh?
So now she is Green Lantern.
Basically, Green Lantern will never see the light of day. I
In
feel like,
brightest day and blackest night.
sadly,
No evil shall escape.
we're
my
supposed to
sight.
get a Green Lantern
All
show
those who
though.
worship evil's might.
We'll get a
It's
Green
my
Lantern
power.
show until
Green
the actor
Lantern
ends
light.
up getting out on bail and kissing someone and killing someone.
Why do you
or
think that
slapping
just Ezra Miller is going to stop the entirety of the DC universe?
someone? Read the hot sheets, man. Me and Ryan are always on the hot sheets. It seems like DC had emergency meeting 2 days ago. Like,
Oh shit, guys! What are we
I
gonna
know,
do?
I
What are we
know.
gonna do?
everybody get in the room, lock the doors.
The whole place is.
They
burning.
don't
This
have a
is
room.
fun.
DC got rid of their office, so they're all working remote now.
God.
Everybody, get the Discord. Get the Discord.
Is everyone here? Everyone here? Everyone here?
Steve, you here?
Greg's not here. Oh yeah, we don't like Greg. Greg is one of the Jeff Johns. Am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Who wrote Green Lantern? And that they had behind the first movie, and they were mad that he fucked up. So
GF John.
Jeff Johns, I think.
It's like GEOFF.
Geoff John?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Jeff Johns. Regardless,
It is Jeff Johns because you can spell Jeff Geoff.
I don't know where it's gonna go, and luckily Moon Knight looks awesome, and we'll catch up with seasons 3 and 4 after those come out on
Seasons 3 and 4.
episodes 3 and 4.
I'm like, whoa. What do you know?
I know a
Damn.
lot. Episodes 3 and 4, and then if we could work it out, we'll work on an X-Men one for next week. Because you were you got Ryan hits your astral plane body out, and you're like, wait, who's related to who, and who got what powers?
Because mutants.
We'll get a flow chart with Mystique.
Mutants to
And
me.
you actually
okay, no. Let me say my piece. The reason mutants are somewhat interesting to me is because they make the least amount of sense out of any comic book thing ever. It doesn't make any sense that a human being would adapt with the abilities to control metal. That's not how evolution works. And then there's all this weird, like, whether the powers are hereditary and how does my mutant power being able to open a portal to another dimension made of entirely compressed energy with my eyeballs? Like, how does any of that make any sense? Like,
Cyclops is part Shi'ar.
wait, he's an alien?
Isn't his
The
Cyclops'
funniest
brother
thing
is
about
Vulcan.
Cyclops is why doesn't his laser shoot through his eyelids?
They're not lasers.
It's because his
eyes are
skin
portals.
isn't affected
He
by-
can't shoot through his skin.
because Havoc's not affected by
That's because they're brothers.
Can they shoot?
exactly.
So if they shoot
have,
each
they
other,
have the same skin.
And there's a Mexican, I'll say wrestler, Mexican superhero named Skin that only has 2 extra feet of skin as his power.
And it's-
See?
and it's not.
what if you get
it's
shafted like
not
that?
actual-
There is shafted. That's why I think is the funniest thing. There are some mutants that could just get shitty powers.
My mutant power is just I have one extra tiny hand.
Yeah. That
There's
could be you.
Eyeball Boy,
Well, look at who's the bird one that they beat the
There's-
shit out of at the school?
Beak.
Beak. Beak just looks like a
How?
bird, and they beat the fuck out of him with a bat.
How is my mutant power having 2 extra dimensional worms instead of stomachs?
Well, thank you guys for watching this week. We really do appreciate all the time and everything. Catch us on all our social media platforms. Next week, it looks like we're going to be talking about X-Men. Hopefully, Ryan will be free, and I'll have Ryan do homework this time. Normally, I do all the homework. Just look up a few things. I'll pull up some stuff.
I'll bring my most intriguing mutant questions.
And we'll also probably let's talk about how the mutants can make it into the MCU.
We already did that, and I told you.
No, you had your own plans, but I think that's scrapped now because multiverse. But
Yeah, and I still think multiverse
who's
is a
gonna
stupid
come?
way to bring it over.
Who's gonna come and who's gonna
Marston
not come?
wants to come back as Cyclops.
Well, he only gets Sonic gigs nowadays, so I understand that. I feel that. And the day where Marvel's
Dude,
in its
apparently that
prime.
movie's hella good.
Oh, the first one's great, and the second one's gonna be good too. Yeah,
like hella good.
that's what Donnie was like. I haven't seen the first one. I really want to watch it now because you told me it's good, dude. And I'm like, dude, it's really good. Second one's gonna
Dude,
probably be good too.
Ugandan Knuckles shows up.
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about?
What?
Do you not know what I'm talking about?
Say it again.
Ugandan Knuckles?
Oh, because it's Hydra?
You don't remember the Knuckles meme from a couple?
No, I don't. But with that, subscribe, like, share. Thanks, Ryan, for coming. Hopefully, we'll see him
Do you know
again.
the way?
And Ryan,
Do you-
and Declan.
Arnie, do you know the way?
Declan, say what you need to say because I'm tired of hearing everyone in the hallway. Sounds like you're blowing an
Dude.
invisible Mark Spector.
You missed out on the 2018 meme.
I know the Do You Know the Way, but I don't know where it's from.
Do you know Dewe? That's the Ugandan Knuckles meme.
Is it?
It's like they have Sonic in the Sonic 1
I know
movie.
Sonic. Ryan showed me Sonic back in the days.
Yeah, he shows up at the
From
Sonic
Chris
1
Chan?
movie.
Chris Chan?
No, that's Sonic Chew, bro. Oh my god, you don't even know any of your internet reference. That's a podcast. Ernie's a moron. That's a podcast.
Sorry, guys.
That's a podcast.
Yeah.